Girl, these kids going to school looking like they look like bona fide. All you see is cheek, belly buttons, and shirts with rubber bands.
Why do you want to be the sexy teacher? Wearing a bodycon dress or a bodycon skirt is bananas.
There are these girls that are just dressing in bras going to school.
Having a huge BBL and you're posting it like, this is my outfit for the day, this is my teacher's outfit, and you're turning around and then like you're posing at the school in front of the school bus, like that's not appropriate.
I don't know if you preparing them for the school year or for the club.
When did schools stop looking like schools and start looking like fashion runways? Scroll through TikTok today and you'll see kids showing up in outfits that would have gotten them written up just a few years ago. Crop tops, mini skirts, even sports bras. Clothes that once meant a trip to the principal's office are now being flaunted as first day fits with thousands of likes rolling in. And it's not just the students. Teachers, too, are stepping into the spotlight, posting outfits of the day that look more suited for a night out than a classroom. This isn't just a style shift, it's a culture shift. From strict codes and fingertip rules to a generation dressing for likes instead of lessons. The classroom has changed in ways no one could have predicted. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how dress codes collapsed, how social media fueled it, and why some say even teachers are blurring lines that were once crystal clear. Walk into a high school today, and you'll notice the shift immediately. What used to be considered weekend wear, tight skirts, ripped jeans, and crop tops, is now standard classroom attire. In some cases, students are even wearing sports bras as shirts, something that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. The difference isn't subtle. Viral TikToks proudly showcase back-to-school fits, tagging the brands like they're influencers heading to an event, not students heading to first period. And instead of being stopped at the door, many of these outfits walk right into class without question. The rules are still technically there, but they're enforced so loosely and so inconsistently that students know they can push boundaries with little consequence. What was once a clear line between appropriate and inappropriate has blurred almost completely. And if the students are testing the limits, the bigger surprise is who followed them into that territory, because now even teachers are part of the conversation. Not long ago, schools treated dress codes like non-negotiable law. In the early 1900s, students showed up polished and covered. Long skirts, slacks, button-ups, cardigans. It wasn't written on posters, but everyone knew the expectation. You dressed neatly out of respect for the space. By the 2000s, the rules got even more specific. Shorts had to pass the fingertip test. Tank tops needed thick straps. No spaghetti straps, no yoga pants. No ripped jeans unless you wore leggings underneath. A bare shoulder? Automatic violation. Many students remember being pulled out of class or handed oversized hoodies from the lost and found just to cover up.
They wearing crop tops to school, y'all. We couldn't even show our shoulders. Y'all remember when we couldn't wear spaghetti straps or like the wife beaters? We couldn't wear those. If it was revealing that shoulder, baby, we was getting sent right on home.
The shorts had to be past our fingertips, standing like this. Not only could we not wear shorts, though, we also could not wear leggings or yoga pants. We couldn't wear tank tops. It had to be like 3 fingertips. I don't even know. Like, I'm not kidding. The days that you could get away with wearing like leggings, I'm not kidding. Leggings with a big t-shirt, like a miracle.
Looking back, it seems strict, even absurd. But for decades, schools saw dress codes as part of maintaining discipline. The problem? Students weren't about to accept those rules forever. The cracks started showing in the 1960s. Students began using clothing as a form of protest, and one case even reached the Supreme Court. A group of kids wore black armbands to oppose the Vietnam War, and the court ruled in their favor. That decision planted the idea that self-expression at school was more than style. It was a right. By the 2010s, rules were still strict, but they felt less about discipline and more about control. Students, especially girls, were constantly singled out for leggings, short skirts, or bare shoulders. The message wasn't focused on learning. It was, your body is a distraction. And for many, that crossed the line.
It is wrong to tell a 10-year-old that she is showing too much skin and that she must wait in the office while her parents bring her a change of clothing, because then school administrators are prioritizing her body over her education.
It's supposed to be right above the knee. And so teachers are identifying kids that are dressed inappropriately.
It's not inappropriate. Let's stop using that word. Okay. She's 11 years old. This is very appropriate for her age.
This frustration built year after year. And once students started questioning the fairness of the system, dress codes no longer held the same authority. The ground was shifting, and it wouldn't be long before it completely collapsed. As frustration grew, students began openly challenging the rules. Stories spread of girls being pulled from class for tank tops or shorts a few inches too high. Parents argued that kids were being humiliated over outfits instead of being allowed to focus on learning. Even some teachers admitted it was absurd.
School dress codes are a way in which our society children. When I see teenagers, I saw children. At no point in my brain was I noticing like what they were wearing. I was way more focused on making sure they understood how to graph quadratic equations than I was about if their t-shirt covered their belly button.
Saying they cared more about students mastering algebra than whether their t-shirt covered a belly button. The bigger issue? Most of these codes targeted girls far more than boys. Wearing leggings without a long shirt, showing shoulders, or even exposing knees became violations. For many, it felt less like discipline and more like body shaming. With every challenge, every protest, and every viral story, dress codes lost credibility. And just when schools were struggling to keep control, a new force made the old rules almost impossible to enforce: social media. When social media took over, dress codes didn't stand a chance. TikTok and Instagram turned outfits into content, and suddenly the rules of school mattered less than the rules of the algorithm. A crop top that might have earned attention 10 years ago could now earn thousands of likes overnight. Fast fashion brands like Shine fueled the trend with back-to-school ads featuring corsets, micro-skirts, and cut-out tops, styles aimed at teens, but designed for nightlife. Algorithms don't care about age, so these images flooded the feeds of middle schoolers as much as college students. The result? Kids stopped dressing for teachers and started dressing for the camera. The classroom became just another backdrop for social media.
Every day I come on this app and I feel like a senior citizen. What is going on with you kids in the high school? This girl was mad that she got dress coded for literally wearing a sports bra and underwear to school.
And while that alone was enough to shake things up, what made it even more complicated was this. The teachers started playing the same game. For decades, teachers had a predictable look: long cardigans, flats, or denim dresses. It wasn't stylish, but it set a professional tone. That image has changed. Now scroll through social media and you'll see teachers posting classroom selfies in bodycon dresses, tight skirts, and 5-inch heels. Some even pose in front of school buses like they're on a runway, turning their outfit of the day into viral content. Technically, most of these outfits don't break the rules. They're covered. But the fit and presentation blur the line between professional and provocative. Critics argue it sends the wrong message in a classroom full of teenagers, while defenders insist women shouldn't be shamed for how their bodies look in certain clothes. Either way, the traditional teacher aesthetic is fading fast. And that raises an even bigger question. What's the real intention behind these choices? This is where the debate heats up. On one side, teachers say they're simply expressing themselves, dressing in ways that make them feel confident. On the other, critics argue context matters. What looks fine at a weekend brunch can feel completely different in front of a classroom full of teenagers. The controversy isn't just about fabric, it's about intention. Are these outfits a form of harmless self-expression? Or are they styled for attention?
Given that you're not there to teach, you're there to accessorize and have photo shoots every damn day, because why is you posted up on the bus like it's the club wall in 2002?
Let's just keep it real and admit that some teachers enjoy attention from students. We're not calling women enough. Like, these teachers who are going to school in bodycon outfits, BBLs, and in heels that you would wear to the club, to school, like, wanting to be attractive to children is a thing that do.
Like, I can't stand when people say that, oh my god, how can she hide her curves and da-da-da. Like, put it on some actual clothes. Back in my days, I remember where teachers was wearing like long cardigans. They never wore tight fitted clothes.
A lady told me a while back, when I became developing, you got to get a butt cape. What is a butt cape? It's a long cardigan. It's not just, she can't help how she's shaped. She can, but you can help how you dress.
When photos are posed, shared, and monetized online, it becomes hard to separate teaching from content creation. Supporters counter that Covia women are often judged more harshly for the same outfits slimmer teachers wear without criticism. But even with that argument, the line between professional and provocative keeps getting harder to define. And if teachers and students are both dressing for likes instead of lessons, what happens to the classroom itself? At first, it looks like a fight over fashion. But the truth is, it's about boundaries. Schools once pushed students to dress for success, to show respect for a space meant for learning. Now, both kids and teachers are influenced by the same algorithms that reward bold, eye-catching outfits. The classroom has quietly shifted from a professional environment into a stage. Students dress for social media clout. Teachers post outfit of the day reels from behind their desks. And somewhere along the way, the authority gap between them has narrowed. This isn't just about clothes, it's about what they represent. When self-expression crosses into performance, education risks being overshadowed by image. And that's a shift with consequences far bigger than fashion trends. From polished cardigans and fingertip rolls to TikTok outfits and viral teacher selfies, school dress codes have gone through a complete transformation. What started as strict discipline slowly unraveled under cultural pushback, collapsed in the age of social media, and now blurs the line between student and teacher roles. Today, it's less about dressing for success and more about dressing for likes. And while fashion always evolves, classrooms aren't supposed to be catwalks or content studios. So here's the question. Is this just the new normal, or are we losing something bigger than style? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because whether you agree or disagree, one thing's clear. The classroom doesn't look the same anymore. And maybe it never will again.